Amid corruption allegations in PhilHealth and the Public Works Department, President Duterte orders a sweeping corruption probe in government. Mr. Duterte is ordering the Justice Department to take charge with the same task force that investigated the state health insurer. Our Trisha Tarada joins us live for the details. Trisha, the Ombudsman and the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission carrying out the probe. Why is the President asking the DOJ to step in?
Malacanang says it's the president emphasizing that he will give utmost priority to solving corruption in his remaining years in office. The palace calls this group a mega task force. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says there is no law prohibiting the president from setting up this group. Unlike other anti-corruption agencies, the mega task force will work through several offices that also includes PACC. Besides, Roque says the mega task force involves more lawyers and law enforcers that can look into anomalies in the government.
Mas marami tayong piskal na po pwede mag-imbestiga at aasistihan po ng ang ating mga piskal ng kapulisan at ng NBI at ng yung ating opisino laban sa red tape, yung ating PA, yung Presidential Anti-Graft Commission. So marami pong aasiste at marami pong mga piskal na po pwede mag-conduct ng investigation kung ikukumpira po natin sa limitadong personnel ng Office of the Ombudsman.
The investigation may cover not just those in the executive, but even politicians and local government leaders. Back to you.
Trisha, quite a number of questions here. With this mega task force, does that mean that the PACC was ineffective? And the president made a promise during the campaign back in 2016 to eradicate corruption in 6 months. And what happened to that?
Right, Pia. Malacanang says it doesn't mean that the president wasn't satisfied with PACC or other anti-corruption agencies' work. From what we understand, it's more about intensifying the efforts against or to address corruption. Secretary Roque says the president wants to leave a legacy that political will can solve the problem with corruption. Yes, there are critics, but Malacanang is shrugging them off, saying they're only part of the 5% who will never be satisfied with the president's work. Of course, there are also some transparency watchdogs questioning the sincerity of this move, considering that the president hasn't released his own statement of net worth, assets, and liabilities yet. But to this, Malacanang says all these groups, including the media, have to do is to comply with the process of the ombudsman. Back to you, Pia.
Trisha, tell us about the president's challenge or message to his critics about corruption.
President Duterte tells them to, quote, "do not invent a sin against me," unquote. He says he has really avoided to be corrupt.
Tend to be legal, masquerading as fighting corruption. Sige, kayo maghanap kayo sa akin. Find me a person or a paper which says that I received 1 peso and I will resign. I purposely umiwas ako kay gusto kong bumira. Kasi kung nagloko ako, hindi ako, papigilan ako kasi may but of the matter is that you are also corrupt. So iniwasan ko yan. Ayaw ko makipag-usap ng negosyante. Wala kayong makuha sa akin. Wala akong papel na pinirmahan na transaction sa gobyerno.
Mr. Duterte says he's not claiming to be perfectly honest. He even recounts stories of his misdeeds in his younger years. But the chief executive says he sets his limits. He says there is no way he can fool around in government. The president says he heeds his father's advice to stay clean in politics, a lesson he also imparts to his children. Pia?
Trisha Tarada there reporting.